But when the night was closing in and my strength was wearing thin, I was standing on the edge of letting go. Every prayer felt weak and slow. Faith was just a fading glow, but there was something holding my soul. I was tired of fighting battles. I was tired of losing ground. Every promise felt like silence. Heaven didn't make a sound. I was drifting like a shadow, far from who I used to know. But even in my weakest moment, there was grace that wouldn't let me go.
When I thought the door was closing,
When I couldn't stand alone, love was reaching through the darkness, calling me back home. Grace that never let me go. When I was falling far below,
when my faith was hanging by a thread, you were holding on instead.
mercy stronger than my fear, closer than the doubt I hear. Through every high and every low, you were the grace that wouldn't let me go. I was wrestling with the questions, why the pain and why the weight. Every tear felt like a river, every breath was heavy weight. But you met me in the silence, where my pride had finally broke, and wrapped my heart in quiet kindness, with a love that never lost its hope.
When I couldn't see the future,
When I couldn't find the road, you were riding hope in places only broken hearts could know. Grace that never let me go. When I was sinking in my own,
when I had nothing left to give, you were teaching me to live.
mercy louder than my shame, calling out my hidden name. Through every high and every low, you were the grace that wouldn't let me go.
Even when I tried to run, even when I turned away,
You stayed.
you stayed. Even when my faith was dust, still your love refused to change.
You held on when my hands let go. You stood strong when my heart said no. Now I know it was never me alone. It was grace that wouldn't let me go. Grace that never let me go. Stronger than the undertow.
When my world was breaking slow,
You were steady as my hope. Now my life is yours to lead. Every breath a melody. Through every high and every low, you are the grace that saved my soul. Yes, you are the grace that never let me go. When I almost let you go, you never let go of me. I remember the silence when my prayers felt unanswered. I remember the distance when my heart wandered far. I was sure I I had lost you, certain you'd had enough, but love was still closer than the doubt in my heart. There were days I was reckless, running fast from your voice, chasing shadows and questions, drowning truth in the noise. I was building my own kingdom on foundations of sand. Still you stood there beside me with scars in your hands. I pushed you away again and again, but mercy kept calling my name. You stayed when I couldn't stay faithful. You stayed when my heart turned away. Through the tears, through the breaking, through the choices I made, love was patient and able. You stayed.
You stayed when I fell in the darkness. You stayed when I ran from your grace. Now I see in the ruins of the mess that I made, there was never a moment you walked away.
I remember the midnight when regret wouldn't sleep. Every whisper of failure was accusing me, but the shame that was shouting couldn't silence your truth. You were writing redemption in the ashes of youth. When I wanted to hide from the weight of my sin, your kindness was pulling me in. You stayed when I couldn't stay faithful. You stayed when my heart turned away. Through the tears, through the breaking, through the choices I made, love was patient and able. You stayed.
Through the doubt and the questions, through the ache and the weight, even death couldn't keep you from rolling the stone away. There was never a moment you walked away.
Not once did you leave, not once did you turn. Every season I wandered, your love still burned. In valleys so low, on mountains of pride, you were constant, unshaken, right there by my side. Even when I was gone, you were already there, arms open wide, answering prayer. You stayed through my doubt and my failure. You stayed through my fear and my shame. Now my life is a witness to the power of grace. There was never a moment you walked away.
Oh, you
Stayed forever unchanging. You stayed yesterday and today, and I'll sing of your mercy for the rest of my days. There was never a moment you walked away. When I thought I was alone, you stayed. You are still faithful. But when the ground beneath is shaking and the sky is torn with doubt, when the ground beneath is shaking and the sky is torn with doubt, when the prayers I've been praying feel like they're running out, when my strength begins to falter and my courage starts to fade, there's a truth that stands unbroken and it will not be erased. Through the fire, through the waiting, through the questions I can't trace, you faithful. When the storm is overwhelming and the waves are crashing in, when the lies are loud around me, trying hard to win, I remember every story, how you've never failed before. What you've done in generations, you will do once more. You don't change with every season. You don't tremble in the flame. You're the rock of my salvation. Forever you remain. Still faithful, still true. Every promise you will do. When my answers fall apart, I will trust your faithful heart. Still faithful, still strong. You've been with me all along. Even when I can't see through, I will hold to what is true. You are still faithful. You were faithful in the valley, faithful on the hill, faithful in the silence, and you're faithful, still faithful in the breaking, faithful in the pain, faithful in the waiting. You never change. You don't fail, you don't fall, you don't break your word at all. Heaven and earth may pass away, but your truth will always stay. Every promise is yes in you. When my future feels unknown, I am never on my own. Still faithful, still strong. I will sing it loud and long. Let the nations hear me say, you are faithful yesterday. You are faithful here today. You'll be faithful all my days. You are still faithful, still faithful, still faithful, still faithful. When I was barely breathing, under the weight of it all, hope felt like a whisper, too quiet to come. I tried to stand on my own strength, but my knees gave way. Every promise I was holding started to fray. I was learning in the breaking what I could not see. It wasn't my grip on heaven, it was heaven holding me.
In the middle of my weakness, in the middle of the night, there was kindness in the darkness, there was shelter in the fight.
I was carried by mercy, held by a love so deep. When I couldn't walk any farther, grace lifted me. Not by power, not by might, but by arms that would not release. When I lost my way completely, I was carried by mercy. Every scar tells a story of a battle you have won. Every tear that fell in silence was known by the Holy One. Even when I felt forgotten, even when I couldn't pray, you were closer than my heartbeat. You were making a way.
Through the questions without answers, through the waiting I endured, you were writing resurrection
you were holding me. I didn't find you. You came for me. Grace upon grace, again and again. You lifted my head and called me friend. I am carried by mercy, even now as I sing. Not because I am worthy, but because of the King. Through the valley, through the flame, through the seasons I can't see. When my heart is weak and weary, I am carried, still carried.
I used to hide in the shadows of the shame I couldn't erase. Every mirror was an echo of mistakes I couldn't face.
I called myself unforgiven, wore regret like heavy chains. Every step felt like a prison built from all my yesterdays. I thought your love had limits, thought I crossed the line, but mercy kept on whispering, you are mine.
When I thought my story ended at the worst of what I'd done, you were right in resurrection.
Where I saw none, from broken to beloved, from wounded to restored. You took the pieces of my heart and made it whole once more. I am not who I was. I am covered by your blood. The cross has spoken over me. I'm chosen, I'm enough. From broken to beloved. I remember all the nights I let condemnation win. Every lie that tried to name me by the sum of all my sins. But you stepped into my silence, called me by my name. Not a slave to fear and failure, but a child of grace.
What I thought was final was only where you start. You turn graves into gardens. You rebuild the heart.
From broken to beloved, from orphan to your own. You placed a crown of mercy where a heavy past had grown. I am not who I was. I am covered by your love. Your grace has the final word, and it hopeless, from wounded and ashamed to be loved, from broken by grace alone.
I thought I'd gone too far, past the reach of grace. Too many broken promises, too much I couldn't erase.
Silence filled the room where your voice used to be. Or maybe you were closer than I dared believe. I was fighting accusations from the echo of my past. Every failure had a memory I was sure would always last. I tried to drown the sorrow, tried to outrun the shame, but every road I wandered still led me to your name. Amen. When I thought that I was hiding from the weight of what I'd done, your mercy found me kneeling and called me son.
It was love that didn't leave.
When I told my heart to run,
It was love that didn't leave.
when I thought the fight was done, through the doubt and disbelief, through the hurt I couldn't speak, when I couldn't stand to breathe, it was love, love that didn't leave. I remember every midnight when regret would not let go, every whispered condemnation telling me I wasn't yours. But your spirit kept on calling through the noise inside my head, saying, child, I paid the price. There's no debt left unpaid.
You were closer than my heartbeat.
Even in my darkest grief, I was never out of reach of a love that wouldn't leave.
It was love that didn't leave.
When I buried all my hope,
It was love that didn't leave.
when I let go of the rope, through the tears upon my face, through the fear I couldn't shake, when my faith was paper thin, you were faithful to the end. It was love, love that didn't leave.
Not once did you turn away. Not once did you let me go.
Every valley, every shadow, you were there, I know.
You were there, I've been.
You stayed when I was
You
restless.
stayed when I was weak.
You stayed when I was faithless.
Still you rescued me.
Oh, your love kept holding on. Your love kept holding on.
Your love kept holding
On to me
went out to me.
when I let go. You held on to me.
You held on to me.
Grace kept calling.
Calling out my name.
I was lost, but
Love remained. It was love that didn't leave.
it was late. I didn't leave. Even when I let go, you never did. the redeemed sing.
Let the redeemed sing.
We were walking through the shadows, carrying the weight of chains, every step an echo of our guilt and shame. But the cross broke the silence, and the stone was rolled away. Now the grave has lost its power, and the night has turned to day.
From the valley to the mountain,
From the battle to the flame, we will testify forever. Jesus saves. This is the anthem of the redeemed, the song of the rescue, the heart set free. From death to life, from lost to found, grace has turned it all around. Lifted higher, let it ring. We are free, so we will sing. Hallelujah, victory. This is the anthem of the redeemed. Every scar tells a story of the mercy we have known. Every chain lies broken at the foot of the throne. We are not who we used to be. We are marked by love and grace. He has called us sons and daughters. Now we stand in His embrace.
no more fearing, no more striving.
No more living in between. We are washed and we are rising by the blood of the King. This is the anthem of the redeemed, the sound of forgiven hearts that believe. From ashes you raised us up. Now we stand in fearless love. Lifted higher, let it ring. Let the heavens hear us sing. Hallelujah, victory. This is the anthem of the redeemed.
We are free, free indeed.
By the power of Calvary, no more chains, no more shame. Every sinner called by name. We were lost, now we're found. Grace is written, freedom sound. You conquered death, you won the fight. Now we stand in resurrection.